tournament so far. We've seen some beautiful games in the tournament. Like, let me say, Ghana played their first game against Côte d'Ivoire and beat them by 5 goals to 1. Côte d'Ivoire played against Benin yesterday and beat them by 1 goal to 0. And you could tell, even though the game ended 1-0, you could tell the kind of teams gave each other. They really had a crack at each other and they brought the best out of each other. But Côte d'Ivoire were more purposeful in front of goal and they managed to get the odd positive goal to win the game by 1-0. And if you look at the first matches in this particular group, we've seen Nigeria and Burkina Faso played a 0-0 stormy, but it was a blockbuster game. Portions of the game went into the heavy downpour, but trust me, both teams brought some classic football on display. And then you look at the Nigerians against the Togolese in the rain-off game that was played the following day. It was an absolute blockbuster. Ended in a 3-2. Yeah, it's on a Friday. It's ended in a 3-2 win for the Nigerians. But if you look at the Togolese team as well, you could tell that they play some.
I must say that was the. We've had 4 games so far, so this is match day 5.
This is match day 5.
Absolutely.
So if you look at what transpired in their opening game, the Togolese against the Nigerians, they really play something, and that's the game that yielded the highest number of goals in the competition so far. 5 goals, 3-2, end-to-end stuff. Just that the Togolese were not lethal and clinical enough in front of goal.
It was a 6-goal count, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a 6 goal count, but in terms of both teams having a crack at it,
Okay.
3-2,
Okay.
it's a blockbuster, and it was very lively over the course of 90 minutes.
Absolutely.
Just that the Nigerians were clinical enough in
Absolutely.
front of goal, more than the Togolese.
Yeah.
But with the way the Togolese set out to play in that game, this afternoon against another great Burkina Faso team that love to play expansive football, build from the base right into midfield, get the ball to the wingers, swing in the crosses. Trust me, in here to witness another cracking game here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium this afternoon.
I love how you ended it. It gives us opportunity to delve into this game proper. I know one of the questions I wanted to find out before we go into this game is the bit of the fan support. It's already open for every football lover to come in. I mean, from your perspective, from what you've seen so far, you feel the fandom have not been that minimal. It has just been, okay for this tournament.
Well, the euphoria around the tournament itself is not that huge like the All African games that we witnessed some months ago. But trust me, when we get to the knockout stages of the competition, which will be the semi-finals and the final, I expect Ghanaians to troop into the stadium. In the opening game, the crowd wasn't bad during Ghana versus Côte d'Ivoire. On match day 1, they turn out, but Ghanaians, we close from the office at 5 and the kickoff time is at 4.
Yeah.
So it's in one way or the other have its negative effect on the attendance. The Legon Stadium enclave is working class enclave.
Yeah.
So people are in school, people are in their offices, but when they close after 5, you see them coming into the stadium. And today we live to see how the turnout will be for this particular game because, you know, currently we are having the end of season for the major European competitions.
Absolutely.
In England, in France, and in Spain. But after that, I'm telling you, Ghanaians are football crazy. They love their football. They'll troop into the stadium to give these young lads some sort of supporting that they need in the arena this afternoon.
Today we're of course having Togo versus Burkina Faso, our first featured game. You look at the Togolese, and you know their team itself. Can you tell us a bit about them, especially in their organization? And I know, yeah, of course, we've rarely mentioned that this is for the youth and it's for football building and what have you, development. But you look at the Togolese and their base. Is it that strong enough to meet the Burkina base?
Well, if you look at the Togolese team of late, you know, football is now scientific. Everybody can play football. In terms of tactical wise, in the past we have teams like Burkina Faso, Togo, and Guinea that we say they soak pressure, they sit deep and counter attack. But now, if you look at all the teams, with the team sheet that we have, the Togolese have set out in a 4-2-3-1 formation.
Yeah,
that tells you that they want to play expansive football. They want to build from the base.
Absolutely.
Get the ball to the two holding midfielders, then to the wingers, then they can get in crosses, and then you have enough bodies in the penalty box to play. So if you have a team that set out in a 4-2-3-1 formation, that tells you clearly they are not going to soak the pressure. They want to play, open their game, build, and play attractive football.
But has that been a disadvantage so far? In their first game, they would have to concede from such expansiveness, you ask me. But I mean, is it enough to meet this Burkina Faso team? Burkina Faso in its first game met the defending champions, and it was 0-0.
Yeah, you know, in that game that the Burkina base played against the Nigerians, you know, in the WAFU qualifier, the Nigerians beat them here in Ghana, in Cape Coast, and then both of them qualified to the AFCON proper.
Yeah.
And in the AFCON proper, Burkina Faso replying in same form when they met in the quarterfinal. They kicked Nigeria out, denying them a place in the FIFA World Cup proper.
Yeah.
So it's like the two teams going into that game really have their own personal rivalry to settle. And they couldn't cancel each other out over 90 minutes. Ended up in a stalemate. But if you look at this afternoon's game, yes, the Togolese, like you said, they play expansive football. And sometimes when you play expansive football and you are not disciplined enough to be able to hold your own at the back, to be able to show up your back, you open up and then you can concede goals. In that game against the Nigerians, they conceded 3 goals. So you can tell that as much as they love to open up to play good football, they have to be disciplined in terms of keeping their team shape, in terms of putting the brakes and nullifying the strength of the opposition. And I know they've learned 1 or 2 clues from what they've seen, and they've basically watched this particular Burkina Faso team played in their opening game against the Nigerians.
Yeah.
And the way they managed to hold the Nigerians, never giving them any clear-cut chances, limiting them to have chances in terms of their movement around the penalty box. That tells you that they are a well-disciplined and a formidable team. And then it's not going to be easy this afternoon. It will be another tough game for both teams to be able to contend with this afternoon.
Enough from the Togolese. How is the Burkina shaping up in this game in terms of formation, and what are we to expect?
Well, if you look at the Burkina Faso, they set out in a 4-3-3 formation.
Wow.
That is a typical Barcelona Arsenal or Manchester City kind of formation.
Yeah, absolutely.
4-3-3 only tells you one thing: we are coming to attack. We are coming to play beautiful football. You know, one thing about this Burkina Faso team is they have some exciting players in their rank. You look at the chap supported in number 6. Just say Usif Bara.
Absolutely.
And you look at the captain, Chef Badra Baru. In the first game, they were the guys that carried enough threat for them in terms of whatever they on transition. They have the ball. And then if you look at this young chap sporting number 6, Mohamed Fofana.
Yeah.
He's a hell of a midfielder. Sometimes he drops deep and then tries to help the centre back. He's the linchpin, and with him, he's like the fulcrum on the anchor.
Okay.
He's like that pivot. He sits deep and then orchestrates things from them from central midfield. And for the Togolese to be able to have something out of the game, they need to have a clue and put someone on him.
You surmise this is the reason they are doubling in numbers, the Togolese in the midfield. So I can see there's a double pivot and 3 of the players lining in front of the double pivot for the Togolese. So it forms a bit of a 5-member body in the midfield. So looking to overshadow the Burkinabes.
Yeah, so you look at them clearly, they've realized that in the opening game, maybe probably they've let their guards down and they were punished. So what they set out to do is the 2 sitting pivots, basically they want to give that kind of defensive solidity to the back line, thereby not allowing them to be able to have the midfield battle, because clearly the coach have seen that in the opening game that the Burkina Faso played, they have a midfielder that sits deep and help to straight. Then if you look at Isif Dabo, the top spotted number 4 jersey, he sits in their midfield, and what he does is he doesn't go for it. His role is to distract and construct. And when you have a player of such a caliber, it reminds you of Patrick Vieira.
Absolutely.
Mostly they don't care about what happened in attacking third. They just have to soak the pressure for the home team toward the threat from the attacking team.
Maybe I can't Thomas Partey, you can say.
Yeah, Partey sometimes
because of
forward.
injuries and absolutely, yeah.
But this season he's really defining his role.
Absolutely.
So let's look at a typical Sergio Busquets playing with a Xavi and then an Iniesta.
Okay.
So you distract the opponent's attack and then you just give the ball to the attacking players and you sit, orchestrate, try to put people in order. Here you go. Your tackle, mark here, go there. So if you look at what they are doing, basically, it's gonna be a midfield battle, and the one that will have the bigger chunk of possession in central midfield and be decisive in terms of playing premium passes into attacking channels for the strikers, that person will have the opportunity of carrying the day, because in Ashraf for the Burkina Faso, they have a potential striker who can be able to bang in the goals for them, because in the first match he has really carried enough threat in the attacking team, but the Nigerian goalkeeper was there to thwart those threats.
I want you to pause here. We'll go for another break. When we return, there's a lot more to look into how these teams define their roles up front. We'll talk then about the zone 14 and what each team should do there when they get the ball in that particular area. I'm still here with my brother Francis Blackhead. I'm Bernard 𝗭𝗡𝗘. Let's go for this quick break. On return, there's more discussion. This is the WAFU Zone B under 17 AFCON qualifier.
Everybody knows 𝗭𝗢𝗡𝗘. And if you know 𝗭𝗢𝗡𝗘, it means you know endpoint homeopathy clinic. As an international journalist and actor, my health is my priority. Endpoint homeopathic clinic is my pillar in terms of my health. Let's hear what others are saying about endpoint homeopathic clinic. Sister, please, you let him talk to you. Who will be careful endpoint one?
Just an Amian Casami problem. That's a problem. Room. Into my one white dear mammy, papa patches and then I'm quite pointing on share me modem no baby and also moment do mamma do I'm fire and my own crammy you know who for one I'm quite eba. Tell me, Jeddy, I bet you
heard everything yourself.
Mamma, no, I jojo at the how I want to me, Nancy. And then call endpoint or Mamma Nura and then the white dear, what me a sorry and
that's endpoint for you.
Of 𝗭𝗢𝗡𝗘.
Hello.
Hey, what?
Okay.
A free bra would the endpoint what dance. I'm a choir no. Me Joseph say my name Koye and person my name and imagine a suburb. Now me be here for the one in
You heard everything. I have secret. Endpoint is my secret. Endpoint homeopathic clinic. I'm free.
I said I need somebody. Come on. I said I need somebody. I'm in the hotel lobby. Come on. We're gonna start this party.
Prophecy time.
Abraham and Sarah, Mubanya twins. Go and buy jackets. We are going to camp.